Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at that McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman from the Dark Knight Trilogy. This is Batman as he appeared in The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, played by Christian Bale. This is the absolute first time any company has given us this particular suit in 7-inch scale, so I'm really excited for that. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see, 22 moving parts, McFarlane Toys, ages 12 plus, DC Multiverse Batman, collect to build Bane. This is the first of 4 figures you need to get to build Bane for the Dark Knight Rises. Here's Batman in the packaging, 3 batarangs, grapnel launcher, Bane's legs, collector's card, display stand, plenty of accessories. One side, Batman from the Dark Knight Trilogy, other side, Batman. At the bottom, bunch of credits. And there's this barcode if that helps anybody. Back side, we have Bane. Here are the pieces you get with Batman. Here are assembly instructions, and here's the rest of the wave. So with no further ado, let's open him up. And I did get 2 full sets of these Dark Knight figures from the McFarlane Toy Store. They put them up the other day. They put them up already in stock. I ordered it, and they shipped the same day. That is awesome. I got 1 set to open and enjoy, and 1 set to keep unopened in my complete Batman-related unopened action figure collection. And sometimes when you order from the McFarlane Toy Store, they'll send you a free action figure. This has happened to me a couple times in the past. They attach a note and it explains the action figure is in damaged packaging, beat up or dented, and here you go. Although every figure I've gotten, the package has actually been in pretty good shape. They gave me a Zack Snyder's Justice League Aquaman, kind of a surprise. It's an older figure, one that I already have and don't really need another one of, but I can find something to do with it, I'm sure. Pretty cool. They attach a little letter here. McFarlane Toy Store, if you want to read the letter, go ahead and pause now. Really, really good customer service from them. But to offset that really nice thing they did for me, they did a screw up and they didn't include the free Batman cover. It's a variant gold cover of a McFarlane Toy Store Batman comic. I used the code. You get, 5% off plus the free comic. I sacrificed using the 10% off code just to get that comic. I emailed them. I'm sure they'll send me out one. Still, a little annoying, but very cool to get those free figures. Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He comes with a display stand, a collector's card, 3 batarangs, a grapnel launcher, and then Bane's legs. But before we take a look at those, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is Batman from the Dark Knight Trilogy, played by Christian Bale. Specifically the suit from the second half of the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises. This is the first time any company has given us a 7-inch version of Batman in this suit, and for that I'm thankful. So let's take a look. Start with his head here. Honestly, the cowl looks fantastic. The chin, the mouth, screams Christian Bale. Excellent job. Going further down, got a lot of gray pieces on top of black. Does feel like maybe it's a little bit too much gray. I feel like it was more black in the movie. Maybe I'm wrong. Double jointed elbows, you can see the sort of double fins. Very nicely done. A lot of companies would just put one thing there. Articulation is hidden very nicely. I kind of had trouble seeing what all he had. Looks like we got the double ball joints like usual. Belt looks good. Nice shiny paint. Double jointed knees. Overall the suit looks fantastic. Just kind of has a little bit of sort of plasticky toy look to it. I mean, it is a toy, but you know what I mean? Looks a little plastic, and I feel like maybe it should be a little bit darker or blacker. But very pleased with what I'm seeing so far. Looks excellent. And just a closer look at his face and head sculpt. I think they did an excellent job on Batman's face here and cowl. Now for his accessories. Let's start with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand. It's the same stand we've seen from all the McFarlane toys. Black perfect circle, 1 peg for the pegals on his feet. Very thin, very basic. Now for his collector's card. As you can see, it's an image of the Dark Knight Batman from the Dark Knight Trilogy. On the back side, there is a description. If you want to read that, go ahead and pause now. Now we have Bane's legs. Pretty large, pretty tall. Military pants. Cargo pocket, double chin knees, combat boots. And once you put all 4 figures together, you have all the pieces of Bane. Here's how he looks fully assembled. Now let's check out his batarangs. He comes with 3 of them. They're gold. It's kind of that Dark Knight Trilogy Batman logo. Looks nice. Now, they're a little bit flexible, but not super gummy, and they're not super giant either. Probably a little bigger than they should be. But I'm happy, especially the fact they came with 3 of them. Here's Batman holding and getting ready to throw his Batarang. Considering he has 3 Batarangs and a grapnel launcher, he only has 1 gripping hand that can hold accessories. It's a little bit disappointing. He should have had a pair of fisted hands and a pair of gripping hands, and if I had to choose, I would have probably just picked a pair of gripping hands. That way he could hold more than 1 accessory at a time. Now for his grapnel launcher. Made into a solid gold color. Definitely could use a little bit more paint. Some black on top of here. Break up the sculpt would be nice. The sculpt itself is good. Looks pretty nice. Here's Batman holding and getting ready to use his grapnel launcher. Now some other accessories he could have come with would be his EMP gun at the top or his sticky bomb gun at the bottom. These are from previous Dark Knight figures. Here's Batman holding the sticky bomb gun. This version came with the Mattel figure. It's a little bit too small for him. And here's Batman holding the EMP gun. I believe this came with a Mafex Batman figure. Also a little bit too small, but nice to have this accessory for this Batman figure. Now that I've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, staying about 6.9 inches tall, which can translate to about 17.5 centimeters. And if you go to the top of the ears, just about 7.2 inches tall. Now, this is about the height I think all the McFarlane DC Multiverse figures should be, but since a bunch of them are bigger than this, he's probably going to look kind of small next to some of their Batman figures. But we'll check out that comparisons in depth shortly. Now for his articulation. Starting with his head here, of course, you can rotate from side to side. You can look up about that far, down about that far. You can tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders on a ball joint. The shoulder pads are soft, but you kind of help him get over the shoulders there. Goes out a good 90 degrees. Ball joint, up, down, around, all that good stuff. He's got a butterfly joint between shoulder and chest area. Increase the range of motion, uncover that large gap. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows. His wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. His torso has got a ball joint, rotate around, forward and back. Very good range of motion there, and it's hidden very nicely with the armor plates. Another ball joint his waist, rotate around, forward and back, giving him very wide range of motion in his torso area. If you stretch out here, it looks a little off, but you don't need him to be posed up like that very often. Legs, almost complete as the splits. Not a ball joint, McFarlane style hip joints. They go forward about that much, not too much. Back, not very much. Rotation is non-existent. Double jointed knees. Then his ankle here, forward and back. Rotation, tilt, rock, and he has toe articulation. Here's the Batcave underneath Wayne Manor. We have some of the platforms there. The suit is currently underneath. The suit raises up as it prepares for Bruce Wayne's arrival. Bruce Wayne walks up to the suit, feels that thrill of anticipation just before he puts it on. Bruce puts on the suit and goes out to defend the streets of Gotham City. After he leaves, the suit closes up and retracts back into the ground. Here's Batman in a Batcave. This is by Extreme Sets. It's the 2.0. We have the tumbler there, the Bat computer. This Batcave looks pretty similar to the Batcave from Batman Begins, but not so much from the Dark Knight. Still, pretty cool place to put this figure. And a closer look at this Batman with a nice background, the tumbler, the Bat computer. Here's the same type of setting with the Bat pod, and in the Batcave with his flying vehicle, the Bat. Here's Batman with his entire armory of vehicles. Here's Batman on the Mattel Movie Masters Batpod. This Batpod is maybe just a tiny bit too small for him, but it looks pretty decent. This Batpod is slightly larger than the SH Figure Arts or the Mafex version. And if you check it out, you can actually get his knees and feet to fit exactly like they're intended. I wish you could look up just a tiny bit more, but still, it's a very nice accessory for this Batman figure and display piece. Here's Batman meeting with Lieutenant Gordon on the GCPD rooftop. Here's Batman trapped on a catwalk, about to face Bane. He throws everything he's got at Bane, but it's simply not enough. Bane proceeds to break the Batman. Bane has defeated Batman, but the Dark Knight shall rise again. Now let's check them out. Next to some other action figures, starting off with some other Dark Knight Trilogy figures. Here are all 4 of the figures in this wave. We have Joker from the Dark Knight, Batman from Dark Knight or Dark Knight Rises, Two-Face from the Dark Knight, and Scarecrow from Batman Begins. And let's not forget, we also have the Build-A-Figure Bane, the biggest one of them. Now these are all the different figures they've made for the Dark Knight Trilogy. We know on the leaked list, there's a gold label version of Batman with the sonar eyes, Bane with the jacket on, and then Joker from the bank robber outfit at the beginning of the film. But there are a ton of other figures they could or should make from the Dark Knight Trilogy. Catwoman is the biggest glaring omission. A Batman Begins suit Batman would be really cool too. Personally, the ones I would love the most would be John Blake or Commissioner Gordon, Talia or Lucius Fox, Alfred or Bruce Wayne, figures like that. Now this might be the first 7-inch scale Dark Knight costume Batman, but NECA did make a 7-inch scale Batman in the Batman Begins suit a long time ago. Now we have a 7-inch version of each suit. Here's this McFarlane Dark Knight Batman, next to a Sub Studios Dark Knight Batman. And if you're curious about Sub Studios figures, I would suggest stay away. Their quality control is not that good, and they're far too pricey. Although Sub Studios Dark Knight Batman looks much better than their Batman Begins Batman. Oh lordy, look at that thing. Here's the McFarlane Dark Knight Batman, next to the Mafex Dark Knight Batman 1.0. Then, with the Mafex Dark Knight Batman 2.0, slight improvement. And now, next to the Mafex Dark Knight Batman 3.0, by far the best of the Mafex Dark Knight Batman figures. And here, next to all 3 of the Mafex Dark Knight Batman figures. Mafex also made the Batman Begins version, and if you got Scarecrow, you got some extra pieces to do the Fear Toxin version. Here's the McFarlane Dark Knight Batman, next to Mattel Movie Masters version. That was an excellent line, Mattel Movie Master Dark Knight Trilogy line. Nowhere near as good as McFarlane figures, but they made quite a few characters. And I got an absolute ton of those Mattel Movie Master Dark Knight Batman figures. Here are all the different varieties that I have. I'll explain what each one is. Starting with the far left, we have Batman in the Batman Begins suit. Then behind him, Batman in the Dark Knight suit. Then the third one, Dark Knight suit with the sonar eyes. The fourth one, Dark Knight suit, battle damaged. The fifth one, Dark Knight suit, unmasked with a cowl under his arm. The sixth one, Dark Knight suit with some wings glued onto him as if he's gliding in the skies. Number 7, probably my favorite one of all of them. He's a Dark Knight suit Batman from a Toys R Us exclusive Dark Knight Trilogy 3-pack. And the next one there, it's Batman, a little bit muddied up. I think he was from the Batman vs. Bane 2-pack. He has a cloth cape. Then we have another unmasked Dark Knight Batman. This one's a cloth cape. Then behind that, it's Batman in the sort of removable suit from a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive sort of Batcave Movie Master pack. And then finally, John Blake in the Batsuit, cowl under his arm. Here he is, next to the SH Figure Arts Dark Knight Batman. Then, next to a Hot Toys 1/12 scale Dark Knight Batman. Here are all of my different 6 and 7-inch figures in the Dark Knight Batman suit. Now check them out. Next to some Christian Bale Bruce Wayne figures. Here he is, next to a Mafex Dark Knight Rises Christian Bale Bruce Wayne. Then, next to Mattel Movie Masters Christian Bale Bruce Wayne. They didn't actually release one. This is an unmasked Batman head onto the Alfred body. And here he is, next to a 7-inch scale Christian Bale from American Psycho. Now let's check him out, next to some other McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is, next to the Ben Affleck Batman from Zack Snyder's Justice League. Another McFarlane DC Multiverse live-action Batman figure in the 7-inch scale. Then, next to McFarlane's Robert Pattinson Batman from The Batman, another 7-inch live-action version. So now with this Bale Batman, McFarlane has given us 3 different versions of live-action Batman figures in the 7-inch scale. Ben Affleck Batman, Christian Bale Batman, Robert Pattinson Batman. They need to give us this Ben Affleck Batman in his regular Batsuit. And we know with The Flash coming out, they're definitely giving us a Keaton Batman. And that'll make McFarlane have almost every version of a live-action Batman from films. They just need to give us an Adam West, They have the smaller 6-inch scale. They need to do one of the larger 7-inch scale. Yes, it'd be nice to have Val Kilmer and George Clooney, but they're really still an extension of the Michael Keaton Batman. Here they are, next to a couple of NECA 7-inch scale live-action Batman figures. In front of you, we have Adam West Batman, Michael Keaton Batman, Christian Bale Batman, Ben Affleck Batman, and Robert Pattinson Batman. McFarlane's definitely giving us a Keaton Batman for The Flash, but they're still going to be missing the Adam West Batman. Now, I would love it if they went all out, gave us Michael Keaton from Batman, Batman Returns, both Val Kilmer suits from Batman Forever, both Clooney suits from Batman and Robin, but I don't really expect that ever happening. I'll be content if I can just have these 5 in front of me, and all in a unified scale in the McFarlane DC Multiverse line. Here's this Dark Knight Batman, next to several other McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman figures, all from the comics. You can see the Dark Knight's Metal and the Year 2 Batman are quite taller than the Dark Knight Batman here in the middle, but then the White Knight and the Detective Comics Batman are about the same height, maybe even a tiny bit shorter. Then, next to some more McFarlane Batman figures, also all from the comics. I put the larger figures on the left, 3 Jokers Batman, Hush Batman, and then some smaller Batman figures on the right, Rebirth Batman, and the Page Puncher Batman. McFarlane's not exactly consistent with all their figures in the same scale. Difference can be 0.2 inches, but it does make a pretty noticeable difference. And here he is, next to some Batman figures from different various forms of media. Now let's check him out. Next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is, next to the Duke Thomas Signal, Jay Garrick the Flash, and Con-El Superboy. Then, next to the Kingdom Come Armored Batman, and the Dark Knight's Metal Gladiator Batman. Here's this Batman, next to McFarlane's most recent wave of Batman figures. We have Nightfall Catwoman, Hush Batman, Infinite Frontier Joker, and both versions of Mr. Freeze. And here he is, next to the Walmart exclusive Gold Label Vampire Batman and Eradicator. Then, with the Target exclusive Deadman and Flashpoint Aquaman. And now, next to the Shazam 2 movie Shazam and the Amazon exclusive Tim Drake Robin. Here's the Dark Knight Batman, next to the Amazon exclusive Batman Family 5-pack. And here he is, next to the 2 most recent McFarlane Mega figures, Frankenstein and Mongol. Then let's check him out, next to the most recent McFarlane DC Gaming Wave. Here he is, with the Arkham City Sick Joker, and the Arkham Knight Red Hood and Scarecrow. And now, with McFarlane's Mortal Kombat 11 DC offerings, the Batman Who Laughs, and both versions of Joker. Here's Batman, next to the McFarlane Toy Store exclusive Hush Superman and Rebirth Kid Flash. Now this Batman is part of the collective build Bane Wave. Now let's check him out, next to some other recent collective Build-A-Figure waves. Here he is, next to the Target exclusive Crime Syndicate wave, collective build Star the Conqueror. And here he is, next to the Speed Metal wave, collective build The Darkest Night. Then, next to the Batman Arkham City wave, collective build an undersized Solomon Grundy. And here he is, next to the Gold Label Walmart exclusive Black and Gray variants. Now let's check him out, next to some Page Punchers. Here he is, with the 3rd wave of Page Punchers. This is a Flash-themed wave. We've got Flash, the Atom, Heatwave, Gorilla Grodd, and both variations of Captain Cold. Then, with the 2nd wave of Page Punchers, this is based off Injustice 2, Supergirl, Dr. Fate, Green Arrow, and Batman. And finally, next to the 1st wave of Page Punchers, this is a Black Adam themed wave. We've got Batman, Constantine, Superman, and Black Adam. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want no Johns you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane toy, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work my way smaller, and I'm going to include as many Batman figures as I can during these comparisons. Here he is, with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. Then, with some more McFarlane Toys, these are from different various video game properties. And now, next to some Jack-specific wrestling figures, here's Batman, next to an angel food cake that my wife plans to make some kind of dessert from. And here he is, next to some DST, or Diamond Select toys. Then, with some DC Direct and DC Collectibles Batman figures. And here he is, standing with some NECA Batman figures. Then, with some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, with some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 collective Batman figures. Then, with some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse Batman figures. And here he is, next to some Mafex Batman figures. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts Batman figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. Overall, this is a very nice Batman figure. Here are my complaints. Really needs to have 2 fisted hands and 2 gripping hands, especially when he has 4 accessories to hold. And overall, he needs a better paint job. I feel like the gray should be a little more black. That being said, it's a very nice figure. Sculpt is amazing. Accessories are great. Articulation is everything you'd expect from a modern McFarlane DC Multiverse figure. If I were to rate this guy, I'm going to give him a very solid 8 out of 10. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.